The electric buzz of the air conditioner drowned out the soft music filtering through the packed auditorium as Norris dabbed sweat from his brow, trying not to wrinkle the only dress shirt he owned. He'd rushed straight from his construction job to make Lily's dance recital, still tasting the dust from the demolition site on his tongue as he squeezed into the only available seat front row center, right beside a woman whose perfume probably cost more than his monthly rent. "Sorry," he mumbled, tucking his large frame into the too small seat, his knees practically touching the stage. The woman beside him glanced over, her sharp blue eyes catching his for just a moment before returning to her sleek phone where she appeared to be answering emails. "It's fine," she replied, her voice quiet but commanding. Alex checked his watch, relieved he'd made it with 5 minutes to spare. Lily would never forgive him if he missed her big solo. At 8 years old, his daughter took dance more seriously than Alex took anything in his life except being her father. The lights dimmed and Alex settled in, forcing himself to ignore the growing hole in his work boot and the fact that he'd need to pick up an extra weekend shift to cover Lily's upcoming dance camp tuition. Tonight was about her, not their financial struggles. The woman beside him finally put her phone away as the curtain rose, revealing 20 young dancers in sparkling blue tutus. Alex scanned the line until he spotted Lily, third from the left, her blonde curls so like her mother's pulled into a perfect bun. Pride swelled in his chest. "That's my daughter," he whispered, not really intending for anyone to hear but unable to contain himself. The woman turned, a hint of a smile touching her lips. "Which one?" "Third from the left, Lily." "She's in good position," the woman observed with what sounded like professional assessment. "Strong arms," Alex nodded, surprised by the knowledgeable comment. "She practices in our living room every night, nearly knocked over the TV last week." A small laugh escaped the woman before she returned her attention to the stage. Alex noticed her elegant posture then, the way she sat with her spine perfectly straight, yet somehow relaxed. Her dark hair was swept into a sophisticated updo, and her dress looked like something from a magazine, simple but obviously expensive. When Lily's solo began, Alex found himself holding his breath. She moved across the stage with determination, her little face serious with concentration. When she executed a perfect pirouette, Alex couldn't help but clap, earning him a few irritated looks from other parents and an amused glance from the woman beside him. "Sorry," he whispered. "First time solo." "She's doing beautifully," the woman whispered back. After the recital, Alex waited in the crowded lobby, a bouquet of grocery store daisies clutched in his hand. When Lily burst through the backstage door, still in her tutu and stage makeup, he scooped her up and spun her around. "Dad, did you see my turns?" Lily's excitement was contagious, her small hands patting his cheeks. "I saw everything, Lilipad. You were the best dancer on that stage. Miss Megan said I need to work on my arabesques, but my pirouettes were really good." She wiggled to be put down. "Where's my flowers?" Alex handed her the slightly crushed daisies. "Right here, prima ballerina." "Dad, that's for grown-up dancers," Lily giggled, burying her nose in the flowers. "I'm just in level 3. "Level 3 today, prima ballerina tomorrow," he replied, tousling her hair. Alex Norris." A familiar voice caught his attention. He turned to see Ryan, an old friend from high school, approaching with his wife. "Hey man, long time no see. Didn't know you had a kid in dance," Ryan said, shaking his hand. "Lily's been at it for 3 years now," Alex replied proudly. "Your daughter in the show too?" "Yeah, Katie's in the older group, the one with the red costumes. Listen, a bunch of parents are going to Pinelli's for pizza. You two should join us." Alex hesitated, mentally calculating the state of his checking account. "Maybe next time." "We've got Dad, please." Lily tugged at his sleeve. "Katie's my dance friend." Ryan sensed his hesitation. "First rounds on me, come on, it's been years." Looking at Lily's hopeful face, Alex couldn't say no. "All right, but just for a little while." Pinelli's was packed with excited dancers and their families when they arrived. Alex spotted an empty booth and steered Lily toward it, but as they approached, he saw the elegant woman from the auditorium already seated there, surrounded by a group of dancers including Miss Megan, the instructor. "Miss Zaragoza," Lily exclaimed, pulling away from him and rushing toward the table. Alex froze, suddenly realizing who the woman was. Meredith Zaragoza, the owner of Elevate Dance Academy, where Lily took lessons. He'd never met her in person before. He usually worked during Lily's classes, and her grandmother handled pickups on those days. "Hello, Lily," Meredith greeted his daughter warmly. "Your solo was exceptional tonight." "Thank you," Lily beamed. "This is my dad. He works a lot, so he doesn't come to dance much, but he never ever misses my recitals." Meredith turned those striking blue eyes toward him, recognition flickering across her face. "We sat together. You're the proud father who couldn't contain his applause during the pirouette." Alex felt heat rise to his face. "Guilty as charged, I'm Alex Norris. Meredith Zaragoza." She extended her hand, and when he took it, he noticed the strength in her grip despite her delicate appearance. "Please join us. We're celebrating tonight's performance." "Oh, I don't want to intrude on your dad," Lily interrupted with the exasperated tone only children can perfect. "Miss Zaragoza said we can sit here." Trapped by his daughter's logic and Meredith's polite insistence, Alex slid into the booth. The next hour passed in a blur of pizza, animated dance talk, and Lily's detailed recounting of every moment on stage. Alex noticed how Meredith genuinely engaged with each child at the table, remembering specific details about their performances and asking thoughtful questions. As families began to leave, Alex checked his watch. "We should get going too, Lilipad. It's past your bedtime." "But Dad, no buts, Miss Lily," Meredith interjected smoothly. "Proper rest is essential for serious dancers." Lily sighed dramatically but nodded. "Yes, Miss Zaragoza." As Alex reached for his wallet, Meredith waved him off. "This is my treat. I always host the post-recital celebration." "That's really generous, but I can't, please, I insist." Something in her tone made it clear this wasn't up for debate. "Consider it a thank you for raising such a dedicated young dancer." "Thank you," he conceded, feeling both grateful and slightly uncomfortable. "Lily, say good night and thank you." After Lily made her rounds of goodbyes, they headed for the door. Outside in the warm June evening, Alex was surprised to find Meredith following them out. "I wanted to speak with you about Lily," she said, her voice professional but kind. "She has remarkable potential." Pride swelled in Alex's chest. "Thank you. She works really hard." "I've noticed. That's why I'd like to offer her a spot in our intensive summer program. It's normally for older students, but occasionally we make exceptions for particularly promising dancers." Alex's heart sank. He'd been saving for the regular summer camp, but the intensive program was well beyond his budget. "That's very flattering, but it would be a full scholarship," Meredith continued, as if sensing his concern, "including all necessary attire and equipment." Alex stared at her, momentarily speechless. "Why would you do that?" Meredith's expression softened. "Because talent deserves nurturing, regardless of circumstances, and because I was once a young dancer whose single father worked construction to pay for my lessons." She handed him a business card. "Think about it. Call me on Monday with your decision." With that, she turned and walked toward a sleek black car at the far end of the parking lot, leaving Alex holding her card and wondering if this was too good to be true. The weekend passed in a blur of work for Alex, a side job repairing a neighbor's roof while Lily stayed with her grandmother. He didn't mention Meredith's offer, wanting to think it through carefully before getting Lily's hopes up. By Sunday night, he'd convinced himself there had to be a catch. Monday morning, after dropping Lily at school, he called the number on Meredith's card from his truck before heading to the construction site. "Zaragoza," she answered crisply. "Hi, this is Alex Norris, Lily's dad, from the recital." "Alex." Her tone warmed slightly. "Have you considered my offer?" "I have, and it's incredibly generous, but I need to understand why. Lily is talented, but there must be dozens of talented kids at your academy." There was a moment of silence before Meredith replied. "I'd prefer to discuss this in person." "Are you free for coffee this afternoon?" Alex thought about his schedule. He could move some things around. "I could meet at 4:30. Perfect. There's a cafe called Hearth and Brew near the academy. See you then." The call ended and Alex sat in his truck, wondering what he was getting himself into. Hearth and Brew was a cozy cafe with mismatched furniture and the rich aroma of fresh coffee. Alex arrived early, still in his work clothes despite his best efforts to clean up. He ordered a black coffee and found a quiet corner table. Meredith arrived precisely at 4:30, looking impeccable in a tailored pantsuit. She spotted him immediately and after ordering at the counter, joined him with a steaming mug. "Thank you for meeting me," she said, settling into the chair across from him. "Of course. I appreciate you taking an interest in Lily's dancing." Meredith wrapped her slender fingers around her mug. "Let me be direct, Alex. I meant what I said about Lily's potential. She has natural rhythm, impressive focus for her age, and a genuine love of movement. Those qualities can't be taught. But there must be other kids with those same qualities. There are, and many of them already have every advantage parents who can afford private lessons, specialized training, competition fees." She took a careful sip of her coffee. "I built Elevate Dance Academy to be inclusive, but the reality is that dance can be an expensive pursuit. My scholarship program is my way of leveling the playing field." Alex studied her. There was conviction in her voice, but he sensed there was more she wasn't saying. "And you said your father worked construction." A small smile touched her lips. "He did. He raised me alone after my mother left when I was 4. He worked 60-hour weeks to keep me in ballet." Her eyes softened with memory. "He never missed a recital either." The parallel wasn't lost on Alex. "What happened to him?" "Heart attack 5 years ago. He lived long enough to see me open the academy." She straightened, her professional demeanor returning. "So yes, I have a personal reason for offering this opportunity to Lily, but that doesn't diminish her merit or my belief in her potential." Alex nodded slowly, processing this. "I appreciate your honesty, and I'm sorry about your father." "Thank you." She set her mug down. "So will Lily be joining our intensive program? If she wants to, yes, thank you." "Excellent." Meredith smiled, a genuine smile that transformed her face. "The program starts next Monday. I'll have the enrollment forms sent home with Lily tomorrow." As they finished their coffee, their conversation shifted from dance to other topics. Alex learned that, before opening Elevate, Meredith had danced professionally with the Pacific Northwest Ballet. She, in turn, discovered that Alex had been working in construction since high school but harbored dreams of someday starting his own home renovation company. "What's stopping you?" she asked. "Time, money, the usual suspects," he replied with a shrug. "And Lily, of course, she's my priority." Meredith's expression was thoughtful. Having dreams doesn't make you less dedicated to your daughter. Something about the way she said it stayed with Alex long after they parted ways. Lily was ecstatic about the intensive program. "Dad, Miss Zaragoza never takes younger dancers." "Katie says I'm the luckiest girl ever." The first week of the program, Alex rearranged his work schedule to drop Lily off himself, curious to see her in this new environment. The academy was housed in a renovated warehouse with high ceilings and walls of mirrors. Watching through the observation window as Lily stretched alongside girls several years her senior, he felt a surge of pride mixed with a twinge of worry. Would she be able to keep up? He needn't have worried. By the end of the first day, Lily was exhausted but glowing with excitement. "Miss Zaragoza helped me with my arabesques herself, Dad. She said my line is improving." Alex began to notice Meredith more frequently as the program continued. Sometimes she taught classes herself. Other times she moved between studios, observing and offering guidance. She always acknowledged him with a smile when their paths crossed, occasionally stopping for brief conversations about Lily's progress. 3 weeks into the program, disaster struck. Alex's truck broke down on the way to pick up Lily, leaving him stranded on the side of the road with no immediate way to reach the academy before it closed. In a panic, he called the academy's main number. "Elevate Dance Academy," Meredith's voice answered. "Meredith, it's Alex. My truck broke down and I'm stuck on Highway 9. I won't make it to pick up Lily before closing. Is there any way someone could stay with her until I can get there? I'm trying to find a tow truck now. Don't worry about Lily. I'll keep her with me." Meredith's calm response eased his immediate concern. "Where exactly are you? I can come get you both." "You don't have to do that, Alex," she interrupted firmly. "It's nearly 100 degrees out there. Let me help." He relented, giving her his location. 40 minutes later, her black SUV pulled up behind his disabled truck. Lily waved enthusiastically from the passenger seat as Meredith stepped out, looking surprisingly casual in yoga pants and a light sweater. "Dad, Miss Zaragoza let me see her office." "She has actual point shoes from when she was a ballerina on her wall," Meredith smiled. "I also fed her dinner, hope that's okay. There's always food in the teacher's lounge. Thank you, I don't know how to repay you for this. No repayment necessary." She glanced at his truck. "What's the situation here? Transmission, I think. I've got a buddy coming with a tow, but he can't get here for another hour or so." Meredith nodded. "Then we'll wait with you." Despite his protests, Meredith insisted on staying until the tow truck arrived. They sat in her air-conditioned SUV, Lily eventually dozing off in the back seat while they talked. Alex found himself opening up about the challenges of single parenthood, about losing his wife Jenny to a drunk driver when Lily was just 3, about his struggles to build a stable life for his daughter. "She doesn't remember Jenny much," he said quietly, glancing back at Lily's sleeping form. "Sometimes that breaks my heart all over again. But she knows she's loved," Meredith replied. "That's what matters most." When the tow truck finally arrived, Meredith drove them home. As Alex carried a sleeping Lily inside, Meredith waited in the driveway. Returning to thank her once more, he found himself reluctant to say goodbye. "Would you like to come in for a cup of coffee or tea? It's the least I can offer after everything today." Meredith hesitated, then smiled. Tea would be nice. Their small apartment was nothing fancy mismatched furniture, walls that needed fresh paint, but scrupulously clean and filled with photos of Lily. Meredith moved around the space with interest, stopping to examine a shelf of Lily's dance trophies and a framed photo of Alex and Lily at the beach. "You've created a beautiful home," she said, accepting the mug of tea he offered. "It's not much, but it's ours." "A home isn't about square footage or fancy furniture, Alex. It's about the life you build within it." She took a sip of tea. "This is clearly a place filled with love." Something shifted between them that night. Their conversations began to extend beyond Lily's dancing. Alex found reasons to arrive early for pickups, and Meredith often seemed to be available to chat when he did. They discovered shared interests in classic films and hiking, and a mutual competitive streak that emerged when they debated the merits of different coffee brewing methods. One evening, after the other students had gone, Alex arrived to find Lily and Meredith sitting on the studio floor, heads bent together over what appeared to be a craft project. "What's going on here?" he asked, dropping his keys into his pocket. "Miss Zaragoza is helping me make a vision board for my dancing," Lily explained, gluing a picture of a famous ballerina to a poster board. "She says all serious dancers need goals. And what are your goals, Lilipad?" "I want to dance the Sugar Plum Fairy someday and go to New York. And have my own dance studio like Miss Zaragoza." Alex met Meredith's eyes over Lily's head, finding warmth there that made his heart beat faster. "Those sound like excellent goals." When Lily went to wash the glue off her hands, Alex helped Meredith clean up the scattered magazines and glitter. "Thank you for doing this with her," he said. "You've gone far beyond what I'd expect from a dance teacher." "I enjoy spending time with her," Meredith replied, then more hesitantly, "and with you when you're here." Their eyes met, and for a moment, Alex thought about how it would feel to kiss her. The moment was broken when Lily bounded back into the room, but something had changed. The next day, Alex received an unexpected call from a client he'd done small renovation work for in the past. The man owned several commercial properties and wanted to discuss a major renovation project. "It's a bigger job than what we've done before," the client explained, "but someone recommended you highly. Said you were the most trustworthy contractor they'd ever worked with." "Who recommended me?" Alex asked, surprised. "Meredith Zaragoza. Do you know her? She owns that dance academy downtown." Alex's heart jumped. "Yes, I know Meredith." The project was substantial enough that it would allow Alex to hire a small crew and potentially launch the renovation company he'd dreamed of starting. When he called Meredith that evening, he wasn't sure whether to thank her or question her motives. "I appreciate the recommendation," he said carefully, "but I don't want you to feel obligated to help me because of Lily's scholarship." "Is that what you think this is?" Meredith's voice was cool. Obligation. I don't know what to think. Then let me be clear. I recommended you because I've seen your work. The shelving unit you built for the Academy's front office is beautifully crafted. The repairs you did on the studio floor were flawless. I recommend people based on merit, Alex, not charity. He was silent for a moment, absorbing her words. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have questioned your intentions. No, you shouldn't have, she agreed, but her tone had softened. Now, are you going to take the job or not? I am, thank you. You're welcome. There was a pause before she added, would you like to have dinner with me tomorrow night, just the two of us? Alex's pulse quickened. Are you asking me on a date, Miss Zaragoza? I believe I am, Mr. Norris. They arranged for Lily to have a sleepover at her grandmother's house, and Meredith suggested a small Italian restaurant downtown. When Alex arrived, slightly nervous in his best jeans and a new button-down shirt, he found Meredith already seated at a corner table, looking stunning in a simple blue dress. You look beautiful, he said as he sat down across from her. Thank you. Her smile was warm. You clean up nicely yourself. Dinner was relaxed and comfortable, their conversation flowing easily from topic to topic. Meredith told him about her dancing career, the injury that had ended it, and her subsequent decision to open the academy. I was devastated when I couldn't dance professionally anymore, she admitted. But teaching has brought me a different kind of fulfillment. Helping young dancers like Lily discover their potential, it's incredibly rewarding. You're making a difference in her life, Alex said sincerely. In both our lives, actually. Meredith reached across the table to touch his hand. You've been doing that all on your own for years, Alex. You're an amazing father. Their fingers intertwined, and Alex marveled at how natural it felt to hold her hand. After dinner, they walked along the riverfront, talking about their childhoods, their dreams, their fears. When Alex finally drove her home, he walked her to her door, his heart pounding. I had a wonderful time, Meredith said softly, her keys in hand but making no move to use them. So did I. Alex stepped closer, drawn to her. Can I see you again, outside of the academy, I mean? I'd like that. She tilted her face up to his, her eyes reflecting the porch light. When he kissed her, it felt like coming home to a place he'd never been before. Her arms wound around his neck as she returned the kiss with equal fervor, and for a moment, the world around them disappeared. Over the next few months, their relationship deepened. Alex's renovation business began to grow, allowing him more flexibility in his schedule. Meredith integrated seamlessly into his and Lily's lives, joining them for movie nights, helping with homework, and cheering alongside Alex at Lily's performances. 6 months after their first date, as they prepared dinner together in his kitchen while Lily practiced her dance routine in the living room, Meredith broached a subject they'd been dancing around. My lease is up next month, she said casually, chopping vegetables with precise movements. I've been thinking about looking for a different place. Alex looked up from the pasta sauce he was stirring. Any specific area in mind, somewhere closer to the people I care about most? Her eyes met his, a question in them, his heart swelled. You know, this apartment has always felt a bit small for Lily and me. I've been thinking we might need more space. Have you now? Maybe a house with a yard and enough room for 3 people to live comfortably. Meredith set down her knife. Are you asking me something, Alex? He turned off the stove and moved to stand in front of her, taking both her hands in his. I'm asking if you'd consider finding that house with us, moving in together, building a life together. Her eyes glistened. I'd like that very much. Dad, Meredith, watch this. Lily called from the living room, oblivious to the moment unfolding in the kitchen. They turned to watch as Lily executed a series of perfect turns, ending with a dramatic pose. Beautiful, Lily, Meredith applauded. Your spotting is much improved. Lily beamed, then studied them curiously. Why are you guys holding hands and looking all mushy? Alex exchanged a glance with Meredith, who nodded encouragingly. Actually, Lilipad, we wanted to talk to you about something important. How would you feel about us all living together, in a new house? Lily's eyes widened. Like Meredith would live with us, all the time. That's the idea, Meredith said gently. A slow smile spread across Lily's face. Would I get my own dance studio? Alex laughed. Maybe not a full studio, but definitely a practice space. Then yes. Lily launched herself at them both, wrapping her arms around their waists. "Can we get a dog too?" "One thing at a time," Alex chuckled, but his eyes met Meredith's over Lily's head, and the love he saw there made him feel like anything was possible. 1 year later, on the anniversary of their first meeting at Lily's dance recital, Alex stood backstage at Elevate Dance Academy, a small velvet box burning a hole in his pocket. Meredith had organized a special showcase for the Academy's scholarship students, with Lily performing a solo she had choreographed herself. As the final notes of Lily's performance faded and the audience erupted in applause, Alex stepped onto the stage with a bouquet of flowers. Lily, flushed with success, curtsied to the audience before running to embrace him. "You were magnificent," he whispered into her hair. Meredith joined them on stage, presenting Lily with a small trophy. "Brilliant choreography, Miss Norris. You have a bright future ahead." As Lily basked in the moment, Alex caught Meredith's hand. "I have something for the choreographer, too." Confusion crossed her face as he lowered himself to one knee, still holding her hand. The audience fell silent. "Meredith Zaragoza, you danced into our lives when we needed you most. You've brought joy, stability, and love to Lily and me in ways I never thought possible." He produced the velvet box and opened it, revealing a diamond ring. "Would you do us the honor of becoming a permanent part of our family? Will you marry me?" Tears filled Meredith's eyes as she nodded, unable to speak. When she finally found her voice, it was clear and certain. "Yes, Alex, yes." As he slipped the ring onto her finger and rose to kiss her, Lily bounced excitedly beside them. "Does this mean I get a mom and a dance teacher?" Laughter rippled through the audience, and Meredith pulled Lily into their embrace. "It means we're officially a family, sweetheart." Later that night, as they walked hand in hand through the garden of their new home, Lily asleep upstairs, Alex marveled at the journey that had brought them here. "If I hadn't been late that day and ended up in that front row seat next to you, I would have found you anyway," Meredith interrupted, squeezing his hand. "Some choreography is written in the stars." Under the same stars that had witnessed their first meeting, Alex pulled his fiancée close, grateful for the twist of fate that had led a struggling single dad to the woman who would help him build a future more beautiful than he had ever dared to imagine.